The grand tournament of the series is upon us as Season 2 comes to a close with the Pro Play Tour Invitational, where players will be playing for $25,000 in cash and prizes. Still not qualified? Last chance qualifiers will occur on day 1 of our 3-day event and will fire every 8 players, awarding a box in prizing and invites. Be ready to play a few, because LCQs are only $10. Saturday is day 1 of the main event with a top competitor playoff following on Sunday. Stick around for day 3, where we will have team events as well as a variety of side events. For more information, visit ppgeventmanagement.com and come play with the pros.
Got an Orcust mirror.
Yes, we have an Orcust mirror. Again, this isn't surprising. I mean, I think if there was one deck to make it to the finals, I think it would have been Orcust. And honestly, Orcust might have been the second pick right after the first.
Certainly.
The deck it's so incredibly powerful.
It is. It's powerful. It's consistent. It's adaptable. It's made up a significant portion of the metagame ever since the most recent ban list. And I think this, as much as we, as protective fathers trying to shield our children from the cruel realities of the metagame, we probably have to rankle with the fact that it is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not going to make you guys wait any longer. Let's go ahead and get into that match. Looks like both players are just waiting on us here, and I think they just got the signal, so we should be good to go.
All right, and a handshake. The Bandai Red Eyes Black Dragon that propelled Steven from semifinals into finals has once again graced the field.
That's
center.
true. As soon as he played it, that was actually he won that game. He only brought it out for game 3. So I guess he's gone full on. I was going to say like Super Saiyan, but that wouldn't really make sense in this case. But
full on Dinkyursu.
Steven going to start things off with Mathematician. That's going to be immediately met with Impermanence. Impermanence very powerful in this particular matchup because Call by the Grave is everywhere, and Impermanence cannot be hit by Call by the Grave.
Called by the Grave is everywhere, including in Steven's hand. I think the remainder of the hand is Cosmic Cyclone, Called by the Grave, what looks to be an orchestrated return, an instant fusion rather, and a DD Crow?
Now,
so I don't think there's actually a way to get an Orcust.
Not necessarily. Now, what's nice about Mathematician, and this is why you see people play it over Scrap Recycler, is solely due to the fact that if you just leave it on the board, if it gets eaten in battle, you get to draw a card, whereas Scrap Recycler does nothing if it gets disrupted by a hand trap. And it also is a different type, where Scrap Recycler shares a type with all the Orcust. There can be only one. It's still a very prevalent Floodgate. And there's a Mask Change 2.
Don't you feel stupid, chat? Every single one of you saying Snorkus, you didn't know a Darklaw was making it onto the field.
So Steven is incorporating, I believe, 2 to 3 copies of Mask Change 2 in his Orcust strategy, and this is probably one of the reasons why he made it this far. I was so happy this happened. I did not want to spoil it.
Me neither.
So,
we got to see it in some of the top 16 matches. Just walking by the tables and seeing, oh, wait, is this a top 4 game that's being played right now?
Yeah, so Mask Change 2, you'd have to discard a card, target a card, and you summon a hero of the same attribute. And so since all the Orcusts just happen to be Darks, hey, guess what? Darklaw gets to come out, and now this is going to shut down Michael in a very significant way. A one-sided Macrocosmos and the ability to rip a card out of Michael's hand.
Steven stroking his chin. Oh, yes, you're free to draw. And then I'll be activating Darklaw's effect.
So Michael's starting off with Allure of Darkness here. Again, I am very much a proponent of Allure in Orcust just because it just allows you to cycle through so many different cards, especially in games 2 and 3 when the side decks are in play. Getting to see those side deck cards is crucial, and it's not a once per turn, which is absurd. He has the second Impermanence for the Darklaw, though. That's very unfortunate for Steven, and he had the Mathematician follow-up. So
not only does Impermanence stop the rip out of the hand, it stops the macro effect.
Absolutely.
Well, but there's one more macro in Steven's hand. It's DD Crow.
Is that going to be met by Call by the Grave?
Yikes.
Michael just had everything.
Wow, what a grip game 1.
Wow.
It was called Mathematician, double infinite impermanence with an Allure startup. Wow.
Did you see Steven's head? He's like, yeah, you got it,
hey,
man.
If you have all of this, go off, King.
Wow. Okay, so now Michael just has free reign to go off here. He's going to get to set up the full Orcust combo. He's going to be able to clear this Darklaw with ease. Also going to clear the Mathematician most likely as well. I'm pretty sure Steven's out of cards in his hand at this point because he did have to discard for the Mask Change 2. I got to say, though, that is very reminiscent for me of the Burning Abyss Darklaw days.
I was about to say, it reminds me of when people were struggling with how to beat particular matchups with Burning Abyss, and someone finally said, what if you just played Mask Change 2 and made Darklaw?
And I got to say, I'm also fond of the fact, too, I'm not sure if Steven is actually playing Allure, but if you are playing Allure just to dig for your Mask Change 2, since it's an unsearchable card.
Oh, and that was a Dark Refer special by discarding World Wand, special summoning the card that he banished off of Allure of Darkness. That's about as hard as you can draw.
So now he gets to bring back the Symbol Skeleton. Does he have this might be actually OTK because he can just link off into Boral Sword. Symbol Skeleton can bring back Galatea. You can overlay Dingirsu. Dingirsu can send the Mathematician, and then you should have game.
Have we activated Nightmare Orcust's effect yet? I don't think we have.
We might not have.
Oh, wow.
So, wow. I think Michael should have this game won, though. That should be in the bag.
Oh, my goodness. What a fast one. I would have expected, even if Darklaw didn't win the game, it's a huge investment after all, for it at least to have slowed the pace of the game down.
And it looks like, I'm pretty sure this is Boral Sword. Especially if Steven has no cards in hand, you have nothing to fear. Yep, there it is.
And there's the dragon. In the graveyard, there are a multitude of monsters. I think the first one we're going to see activated is Symbol Skeleton. That's just extra damage. Next, we need a monster that can be switched to defense position, so let's go for Dingirsu. We're going to send Mathematician to prevent the draw, and that should be it. 26, 3,040 odd something.
And there's your 4-minute game one, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Tamez, 1 win away from winning Pro Play Tour Dallas. Now, Steven, I imagine, is going to start things off here. Another Mathematician, no complaints there.
Another Ash.
Going to be met with Ash, though. Rough. Steven can't catch a break here.
There are Orcust in the hand, but yeah, none that get him into the graveyard.
This is the thing, though. Like, everyone talks about Orcust being the strongest deck, but yet this is like a choke point. If you can just hand trap a normal summon and they don't have any follow-up, sometimes that just ends their turn.
All right, so Steven, of course, doesn't have a hand trap, but is bluffing an Ash here in an attempt to get Michael to play around it, while having a Nibiru in hand. So if he can get Michael's brain power to be focused around playing around a singular hand trap, there's a possibility he forgets about the multitude of others that he needs to be concerned about, especially out of the board.
And you're only going to see that at like very high level play.
Hand trap representation is just fantastic. It's so cool.
So we're going to pitch Wand, which
right.
A lot of people forget you can pitch Wand for return.
That's a World Legacy card.
It's going to go a little bit deeper here.
Mind
control for the Mathematician.
The flick. We'll normal summon a copy of Harp Horror. And there's number 2.
Galatea. I never get sick of seeing Mind Control. It's just such a powerful card.
It's incredible.
Yep.
Brain Control was eroded. It's still not as good.
So we're going to banish Harp now. Going to go for the Nightmare, presumably. So, chat, can we get those Nibiru counts going?
Yeah, so this is number 3.
This is 3, yes.
Because
you mind control the Mathematician, yeah.
Now, notably, I think there's a way to do the play while sticking on 4 summons.
There is, but if you're trying to OTK,
if you're going for a
more
ding,
than 5.
yeah, you're going to go 5. That's 4.
That's 4. Anyone with PPG YGO in the chat.
Boral Sword?
PPG YGO Orcust.
No,
or Orcust.
Nibiru.
Nibiru.
Let's wait for the activation of the, or let's wait for the declaration of battle phase. There's no reason to shotgun this card.
No. Let him commit everything.
And a slam onto the table. Says, have fun in battle phase, you fool. Hands him the Bandai token. Enjoy this 0 defense token. Michael says, fine, fine. Even the judges are laughing.
That was great.
Oh, and that's the turn.
Wow.
All right, so Steven's suddenly in a commanding position. He's got a whole bunch of Orcust cards in his hand. As long as he can normal summon one of them, we should be off to the races.
The thing is, typically with Nibiru, your first initial play doesn't use 5 summons, and then your follow-up play to OTK can also be done using under 5, so you can typically play around Nibiru. But if you go straight to the OTK, I don't think it's possible under 5 summons unless you somehow, like, instant fusion into Winda and then use that last special summon for the OTK, which is still very optimistic to happen. But, yeah, so this is one of the few instances where you can see a card like Nibiru come down.
And beat face, apparently.
Yep, so 3K going to Michael's face here. And since he has the Harp Horror, we're going to get to see some Orcust combos now.
Nibiru is a big boy, and you don't want to really overextend into a scenario where you accidentally eat a Nibiru of your own, or your opponent is able to out your individual Galatea, DD Crow the monster that you're targeting with Symbol Skeleton, and leave you with a way not to remove the Nibiru token, which is an easy way to get OTK'd.
The thing is, if you're Michael, though, like, it's fine. Like, you're still up a game.
Yeah,
right?
You're up a game. Even if you lose this one, it's fine, but you're also not out of it.
The thing is, too, typically players don't have Nibiru in post-side, especially in this mirror. So, because they know that they're going to play around it. So, I think that was actually very...
Valor the Galatea.
Wow.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. Stops the Babel, which Babel is just instrumental in the mirror match for being able to just take full control of all of your Orcust cards.
And thankfully, one of these very powerful effects is a hard once per turn that Galatea is not going to be able to activate again. We'll attach the Harp Horror, which is something.
Gives him plenty of resources to work with.
We can at the very least sit on a Dingirsu, which might be enough.
And it looks like he's going to go for a second Galatea here.
Let's go for long.
Oh, Masquerade.
IP
Okay.
Masquerade.
That works.
As expected, this is the only card that's going to give him any sort of quick interaction on his opponent's turn.
So now he can go Harp, send either Gizmek or Wand. And
This
then
is especially good with a copy of Harp Horror in Michael's graveyard. If he goes for something like a Symbol Skeleton, that's going back in the deck.
oh, Symbol Skeleton's also fine.
Yeah.
He's going to banish Symbol. He's going to bring back one of his Orcusts. Cannot bring back Dingirsu because he's going to be special summoned once.
I think we're doing Galatea here,
Yeah, most likely. That also allows him to go up to Link 4 if he so chooses.
Avra Max. Avra Max.
And he's going to pass. That's a perfectly fine board to end on. You've got a Nightmare as well as a Harp in the grave.
Ooh, and an Ash in hand. I think I'm probably doing that here.
Ooh, okay.
I'd think about saving it for this Harp
I think I would save it for the Harp.
But a 2-for-1. Come on. Can you pass that up? Yeah, there it goes. We can always spin back the copy of the card that it gets off of Harp Horror.
It's fair.
Ooh,
Wow.
Armageddon Knight's the last
Armageddon
card.
Yep.
That is completely fine, I think. What's in the banished zone? Okay, so unfortunately, now Steven's going to have to contend with 2 Orcust monsters. There's one that can be specialed off the Harp Horror, and there's one that can be specialed from the graveyard via the World Wand that's already in Michael's grave.
So I think Michael sent, it kind of looks like Skeleton. It's a bit tough to see from here.
All right, it's time.
Yep.
So Steven's actually, I think, understanding that the card that Michael is not going to be able to get is the non-Orcust monster.
So we're going to see a Link Summon of Unicorn here on Michael's turn. He's going to go ahead and pitch a redundant copy of Orcust Nightmare that was in his hand and shuffle away that Armageddon Knight. Harp Horror is going to go ahead and banish to summon a copy of Orcust Nightmare from the deck.
There'd better be something else for Steven here, because otherwise it seems like Michael has a pretty easy out to this.
He's going to banish the Symbol Skeleton, which is what I presumed it was, to summon Galatea.
Yeah, and now we just get to play.
That's why I don't know how I feel about that Ash on the
Oh,
return.
chat's right. He attacked to force the IP Masquerade.
Oh, okay, so this is after battle phase. Okay.
Kind of hard to keep track of that. Just like Steven was able to force a winning scenario by attacking with Nibiru, Michael's able to force a winning scenario by making Galatea, or the IP Masquerade activate the effect with her meager 800 attack in the face of an Armageddon Knight.
But see, now Michael has the Babel, and this might change the whole course of the game because now he's going to be able to use that Harp, that Nightmare, all those powerful Orcust effects on Steven's turn, and just be able to generate advantage twice as fast. Here comes Dingirsu now.
Mm-hmm. So in the Orcust mirror, you know, if one player has Babel and one doesn't, you got to give it to the player with Babel. And chat recognizing the same unfortunate truth about the matchup.
Yeah, prioritizing Babel in the mirror is actually critical.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, it's going to make a huge difference here.
A Masquerade of his own.
Yep, Masquerade of his own. That's perfectly fine. Like we said, he has several Orcust effects that he can activate on his opponent's turn. And Masquerade, you feel pretty fine about this.
You can ding on your opponent's turn, then link him away for a Nightmare Unicorn. This is incredible. A Gizmek as well.
Yep.
Oh, man. Says, good luck, Steven. That better be a really sweet card in your hand.
So Gizmek, Harp, Skeleton most likely off the Harp. He's most likely going to immediately shotgun either the Skeleton or the Harp just to get a monster on the field. Looks like it's going to be Skeleton. Probably get Galatea back. Then you can use Galatea to shuffle to get either a return or a crescendo.
And, of course, you know, whatever he gets is not going to be activatable this turn because it is Steven's draw phase.
Correct.
But it's still always good to have something like a backup copy of Return.
Yeah.
Checking the graveyard. Yeah, it's not great news, folks.
So that's the crescendo. Again, keep in mind that won't be live. I don't know how relevant that'll be.
Well, I don't think Steven's going to be able to put up an OTK, which means that if it makes it back to Michael's turn, having a negation for whatever cards remain in Steven's 2-card hand is probably game-winning.
I think Steven has Mathematician and Orchestrated Return in hand.
Those are two pretty good ones, but Return with no targets is less than stellar.
I mean, Mathematician can get you there. Eventually.
All right, so I think we lead with Math in every possible world. Yep, and it looks like Steven is going to as well. Michael checking the graveyard. You already have everything, right? Yes. Says, okay.
So we're going to go digging here, either for a skeleton or a harp.
Now, I'd like to see something like a Forced Masquerena now as well. Obviously extending further and then accidentally allowing your opponent to completely pop off via her effect is not a good idea. But at the same time, going to the battle phase means you are foregoing your way out of this game, which is to aggro your lower life point than you opponent down. There's Harpor in the graveyard now.
Yep, that telegraphs that there's at least one other Orcust monster in the deck remaining. He also has a Nightmare already engraved. So we're going to banish that, target the Mathematician.
And what are we still lacking in the graveyard? World Wand.
That's a good one. That's another extender effectively at this point.
What's the silliest thing you can make with Nightmare Unicorn, Mathematician, and one additional monster? Firewall Dragon, Dark Fluid? To those of you in chat, yeah, there's no Brass Bombard in the deck list. The Brass Bombard is behind the table.
So we're going to wand back Skeleton, Orchestrated Return away the Skeleton to get a couple new cards here. These cards are going to have to be very good.
That looks like a Gizmek. I mean, that's pretty strong. Quick check of the banished zone.
I think that's Ash Gizmek.
Oh, that's less good.
Yeah.
Ash is just about useless at this stage in the game.
I think he's attacking with Mathematician.
It procs the Masquerena, which is something. The Mathematician is at what? 800 plus 50?
23.
Zero Voros is interesting. It banishes the Galatea, but that's it.
I imagine this is going to prop something here from Michael.
All right, let's go.
Yep, so he's going to go with the Galatea as well. So maybe we're going to see a Unicorn of his own here.
Coolest 4. Coolest 4.
Oh, no, he's going to go with it is Zeravoros.
Oh,
okay.
Awesome.
This card is frightening.
It's really scary.
Not even, like, the banishing effect is nuts,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But the fact that this thing is basically Gren Maju in Link form is also frightening.
That's scary as well. All right, Link summoning time.
He's going to make one of his own.
Can you?
Yeah, why not? It's a 4.
Oh, he's got it to the front of the. He's got it to the front of the deck. What
He's
is
got
he
a
thinking?
4. Is he going to wait. Is he going to summon it?
At the zone. When our two Zero Voroses meet, they create an infinite loop playmaker.
Okay.
Oh my. Time to Google Zero Voros. How is this going to work?
So before this is going to happen, so that's a mandatory effect.
Yes.
Okay, everything gets banished.
Now that's a simplified board state.
The thing is, though, Michael's still, well, no, there's no Babel now anymore. That got banished, too. So that kind of clears the Babel here, and Steven still has Orcust cards to use.
Okay. Looks like we're going for the OTK after all. With no Babel on the field. Wait, is this a way out of the game for Steven?
No, because he attacked to force the Masquerena.
He had to,
Yeah.
unless we missed something.
So we're going to go Symbol Skeleton, reattach, or banish to summon Dingir.
I mean, otherwise, this is lethal. Oh my god.
Wow, he didn't go to battle.
26 followed by Gizmek.
That's game.
That will do it.
Well, no, but Michael has his own Gizmek.
Yeah, does he have a way to stop the Gizmek? He's checking the graveyard real quick. I don't think
so. I think he's just trying to go for it.
All right. Michael says, yeah, Gizmek's fine. I've got one of my own.
So the Gizmecs are just going to clash here?
Is that good enough? I don't think so. Did we see a Gizmec, or was that last game?
No, Michael sent it off of, he definitely has a Gizmec.
Yeah, it's banished. Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is main phase 2. Go for Galatea. Now you can get your own Babble.
Oh, wow.
But Zero Boros is going to come back, though.
Yeah, but who cares? It's just Zero Boros. Oh, chat's right once again. IP can't be used in battle phase. So Steven forces the IP.
So he attempted to go to battle phase.
Right, and then, of course, stays in main phase 1.
Okay.
So I don't know. Apparently the Gizmec didn't connect for some reason. I'm unsure why.
Maybe Steven's just cognizant of the fact that Michael has his own Gizmec, so there's no point.
Yeah. I mean, at least forcing it out would be good.
I mean, I feel like it would just end in the same result, right? There'd still be a Gizmec on the field.
Well, the effect is once per turn. So there'd be a Gizmec on Michael's turn, and he'd be 16 cards deeper.
That's fair. So we're seeing this Gizmec on Michael's field during Steven's end phase, presumably, so that way he actually has the ability to use the other effect on his turn.
Oh, you know what it might have been? It might have been they traded Gizmecs. And we missed it. No, because it was sent to the graveyard for Galatea. Chat, help us out here. What did we miss?
I don't think we missed anything. In any case, now we're seeing Galatea set Steven's crescendo now.
All right.
And just like that, like Steven actually seems like...
and there's no way to get Babel back if it's been banished. Zero Boros is sweet and banishes a whole bunch of cards, but doesn't do anything else.
Well, Zero Boros' attack is also gigantic at the moment.
Yeah. It's got what?
Is it all banished cards or just yours?
Each banished card.
Okay,
it's
so there's
200.
16 banished cards right now, so 32 plus, so it's 6,200 attack right now.
Slightly more because of the other Zero Boros and, of course, Orcust cards. It looks like we're going to Ash Blossom the activation of an Orcust monster.
So it's probably like 7K at this point. It's funny how extreme. Oh, now add another 600 because Gizmec's going to be using its effect to banish 3 from the extra deck to pop a monster.
Sure. Gizmec's effect, by the way, not fair. This card does not deserve a monster removal effect on top of being a recursive boss. All right, so it looks like Steven's going to activate the effect of
Symbol Skeleton.
Symbol Skeleton, bring back Dingirsu, and you have a whole slew of options here. You can send, if you're doing a pre-Gizmec effect, you can, of course, protect it if you attach, but it looks like he's doing it in response to it, and as a result won't be able to send the Zero Boros until afterwards.
Wow, and that's it. Just like that, Steven managed to swing it back around.
Oh, my God.
So here we are, Game 3. Michael letting Steven go first.
I think he's fine with that.
I think that's fine, too. Orcust is very easily capable of going second. We're going to see a Dark Grepher normal summon. Pitching Harp seems pretty good to me.
This is the first recruiter that's actually resolved from Steven's side.
Yeah, that's true.
We've had double math into Ash.
It was Imperm game 1, and then
yes.
Ash game 2. But, I
With
mean,
the
effectively the same thing. But now Steven's going to get to set up perfectly fine here. He also has DD Crow in hand.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
It's shocking how like these cards that don't end the turn but do provide incremental advantage are just so incredible in this matchup.
So here comes a Phantasme. It's going to allow Michael to not only establish a body but also just sculpt his hand a little bit here. So we're going to draw a couple. I don't know who thought putting Pot of Greed on a 2400 body that can also stop targeting effects was okay.
It was me. It is okay.
Oh.
It'd be okay if I could afford it.
Now you know who to blame.
Yeah. Are we getting a Phantasme reprint in the March set?
Not that is announced. But
chat, direct your energy towards the Konami executives.
That would be a good candidate to receive it. I'll say that much.
We'd see a lot more board states like this.
Ooh. So Crow for the Skeleton. That's not like a game ender, but
It's pretty good.
it's pretty good.
And Ash for the-
Ash for the okay.
Are you kidding me? This man drew Phantasme, Ash, Crow.
Well, he could have Phantasmade into either Ash or Crow. No, he Phantasmade into the Ash for sure, because he would have Ash Greffer.
yeah. Well,
so-
not necessarily. The Greffer discarded.
Oh, he discarded
Orcust
Harp, that's
but
fair.
you dash the Harp. That's hilarious.
Pretty good, and this
Too
is
funny.
Yeah, this is going to show though why Crow is starting to see even main deck play.
Like, it seems bad for a 5-card hand to include 3 hand traps, but if Michael normal summons a Mathematician, he's off to the races.
Here's Dingirsu. You can recur a resource here. Oh, he's actually going to send the Phantasme.
And then send Dingirsu.
Interesting.
Better have something in that hand. A World Wand et al. Looks like a pass back.
Passed. There's a Greffer.
That's a really good one. Looks like that's an impermanence.
But Steven has a DD Crow.
This is a hard call to make.
So you have Imperm? Okay.
Do you like this impermanence in
Imperm
conjunction with
Crow
the DD Crow?
seems pretty good. We're going to swing for 17.
And that's time in the round, folks.
And plays back to Steven. See, this is what we talked about. If you can just sometimes stop that normal summon, this deck doesn't do anything.
Steven just kind of shakes his head a little bit.
And there's a
drew a good one.
Pankratops and
There
a
it is.
Mind Control.
Hey, you know what's really funny is activating your opponent's Dark Greffer's effect. This card is limited, but not very good in this scenario.
And
there
that's
it
going to
is!
do it. Steven is your Pro Play Dallas champion. Michael immediately just conceding that match.
He had 5 hand traps in hand. He showed his hand. There was a Lancia, too. Unbelievable.
Lancia wasn't going to help in that instance.
No, it's too late.
Yeah, it's wow. Honestly, I got to say, I'm impressed. Like, Orcust is a cool deck, and, we've seen a lot of it this weekend, to be fair, but that was, if there was a way for the Orcust Mirror final to turn up, I'm happy that's how it ended.
Absolutely. I mean,